Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, the open season is right around the corner. In fact, drought season is now opening. And that was always a huge part of my life. But I lived a couple 300 miles a bit south of here growing up. And so warm season began a little earlier. But one of the things I want you to be thinking about in rigging for open season, and I brought this up specially because the water will be less clear than it is later. It'll be a little bit dingy. It'll be higher. It'll be colder. And I think there's a certain best way to rig your tackle. And so, first of all, I'm thinking about myself too in the way I fish. But first of all, I'm going to start with the line. I think it's important that in the beginning of season, and the beginning season is essentially Northern Pike and walleyes. Those are the two fish that open up the beginning of May. And so I recommend that you use braided line as your main line on your reel. Whether you're using a bait caster or a spinning reel, use braided line because it is so doggone sensitive. It works well no matter what time of the year you're fishing. And it's relatively thinner than the other plastic lines like monofilament or fluorocarbon for its pound test. In other words, if you use a 20-pound braided line, it's really thin. All right, that's your main line. Then I believe it's important that you have a leader that is clearer because they're going to see the braided line even in slightly dingy waters. So use a leader. And the leader can be anywhere from a foot to 15 inches, something like that, of fluorocarbon. And the reason I say fluorocarbon, we're not going to be using surface lures in the cold water. There will be exceptions, of course. Some people might want to try. But fluorocarbon sinks and monofilament floats. So it helps you to get your lure down to where you want it to be. And then finally, I think it's really important that you use some kind of, I didn't used to be for using a swivel or something like that, but a swivel will keep your line from twisting. And the swivel doesn't necessarily have to go right where the lure's attached. It could go up above where the leader's attached. But by using a braided line and fluorocarbon, here's the other reason that I think fluorocarbon is really critical, is that it is abrasion resistant more than mono or braid. So if you're fishing for northerns and you don't want to use a wire leader is going to be your best bet for resisting them cutting off your expensive lure. But fluorocarbon, if you use it in a heavy enough poundage, it still is pretty much invisible underwater, is pretty abrasion resistant. And for those of you that think that the fish see your wire leader, which I guess they probably do, fluorocarbon is a better bet. So this is how I would start the season. I can't wait for May. I can't wait to get out there and be fishing again because for me, it's a long wait. I don't do a lot of ice fishing. I call a lot of my friends that do and try to give you reasonable reports about it. But I can't wait. Early May is a time for me. It's a rebirth. It's a time that, gosh, I just am counting the days. And so this is how I would recommend you start your open season. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.